Game Related, where we highlight opportunities and obstacles in sports from former athletes with the thought process of giving future generations a better understanding.
These conversations are meant to bring awareness to the hardships and opportunities of the game. Let's get game related.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the show. And special guest today. We got our guy Phil Goss in the building. Just a little backstory, Oxon Hill High School in the early 2000s, I felt like it was like a little dynasty, especially in the public school leagues. Phil was a pillar, on these teams that won the championships and just had successful seasons. I felt like he brought a lot of grit, a lot of passion. He was like one of the glue guys, for years, for Oxon Hill. And today he's going to come in and talk to us about, his 15 years overseas, some things that he feels like athletes can, next level what we can accomplish, and just bring his overall knowledge, man. So welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, all right. So before we even get into everything, man, you got this terminology called Cookaman.
Oh yeah.
Like tell us where that came from, why did it originate, just give us that.
Cookaman came from my guy Mark Reynolds.
Yeah.
He was back when I was in high school, he had the Cannon Sports Shop. And that was my guy. Every time I would go to school and I ain't had no clothes, he would make sure I was fresh. You know what I mean? And when I think they, stopped doing that, and then he came out with Cookaman. And I kind of like took that whole name and made it me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because
use the Cookaman.
yeah, because I think Cookaman is a catchy name,
Mm-hmm.
and it really puts the spotlight on certain things that I do. But it's not just for me; it's for everybody. Anybody could be a Cookaman. You could be a Cookaman in school. You could be a Cookaman in different sports. You could be a Cookaman in anything that you put your mind to. It's really a mindset. The same way Kobe has the Mamba mentality, we have the Cookaman mentality. No matter what, we going out here to cook.
Yeah.
No matter what space it's in, no matter what, or who in front of us, we're not stopping on no speed bumps. Like we got our goals in place and we going forward.
I could see a gamer like on the thing like Cookaman.
Yeah. So we got the merch. We got merch, man. We got a Cookaman merch coming.
Okay.
I had it when I was in Greece and I was, putting it out there. But now, like, I'm home, I got some more free time. I'm really, serious about putting out the gear because I'm not really playing like that no more. But there's other Cookaman out there, and Cookabays out there too.
Cookabays, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Some Cooka ladies out there too. So expect that on the way too.
All right, cool.
Have you ever been in a game and your shot just not falling?
Yes.
Or you got more turnovers than assists?
All the time.
Sometimes the best way to go is through. For the Good Therapeutic Services can help you turn a loss into a win. FTG is a group of licensed therapists here in the DMV area who help people create a unique formula to get through tough games, challenges, and circumstances.
Yes, give them a call at 571-412-1791 for a free consultation, or visit them online at psychologytoday.com by searching For the Good Therapeutic Services. Again, that number is 571-412-1791 for a free consultation, or you can go online at psychologytoday.com and search For the Good Therapeutic Services. Make sure you tell them to stay game related. Cool. Now that's a cool backstory. So let's get into it. Handling success, right? Everybody wants to get to the top of the mountaintop, and they feel like they're chasing success, chasing glory, but like handling it is a different animal. What would you say like best practices on trying to handle success?
For me, I look at success a little different. I don't necessarily look at the end reward as success. I look at the journey.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I learned from COVID. You know, not looking at the cars or the money, the jewelry, all the things that come with hard work. Look at the journey, really buying in to the day-to-day process of whatever you're chasing. That's been my mindset, you know, for a very long time. And like success for me is being able to wake up every day and pursue something that you're passionate about. Not necessarily the reward for your hard work while on this journey. I don't even look at the reward. I don't look at the money that comes after selling your company or having a successful season. I look at and I focus on what did I do to get there. You know what I mean? The steps that I took.
Habits.
You're right. Those habits, like just literally, you know, I'm in business now, you know, and I'm doing the same things that I did as a basketball player. I still wake up every day, go to the gym, train my ass off as if I'm still playing because it's the same habits. I think gym is very important when you're chasing your journey because it's like you got to be able to, you know, work that stress off, you know, because it's not easy. And, you know, the gym has been my lifeline for real. And that's the only way I know how to be successful is to work my mind and also train my body as hard as I can.
Nice. So I always say, man, we kind of grew up in the era we was outside, right? You know, I always say, man, we grew up outside, not on YouTube. You know, let's get back to like your early childhood days. Like when we was outside, you always hear stories of people that were good, really nice ball players, but they weren't necessarily, you know, they didn't play in high school, play in college or stuff like that. Was there anybody outside that you felt like you patterned your game after?
For me, everybody that I was in the gym with went somewhere. Okay. You know, that's the beauty of growing up in the water. You know what I mean? Like no matter what, you're gonna run into somebody that's nice. Just so happened I just was playing against guys that were really better than me. You know, I wasn't the highly scouted guy, especially in high school. I was, you know, like I said, I was chasing everybody. You know what I mean? And that kind of helped me get over the top. But I'm the type of guy that I don't look at one person. I'm trying to learn something from everybody. Like, especially on the basketball court. I remember like so many times during the playoff runs when I was in Italy, I would watch YouTube, you know, before a game. Okay. And I'm looking at Kobe's footwork. I'm looking at Tracy McGrady's hezzy pull. I'm looking at the young kids' footwork. You know what I mean? I'm all over the place just absorbing because I learn visually. You know what I mean? So if I see a certain footwork or a certain way you rip through, you know, to get an edge on a defender, what angles are you taking when you come off the screen? Like all those things helped me play 15 years because I was so observant. I never really like looked at a specific person. I was a sponge to the game. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a person, but just overall, I was just trying to stay locked in and be inspired by anybody. I think that's a great quality to have. You know, be inspired by not just people that are better or older or whatever. Be inspired by the younger generation too. That's how you stay young.
They always say you can always learn what and what not to do from somebody.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people can learn what not to do with what I was doing overseas for sure. But
where did you like? You always, I felt like you always had a jumper though. Like how did you develop that? Like what tools started when you were younger to have that in your game?
Well, shout out to Moms. You know, she put a basketball court in my backyard. I grew up on 23rd Place, right around Iverson Mall. Yeah. So it wasn't a lot of resources out there for us, but you know, I had a small backyard with a goal, right? So I just let my imagination run. I'm out there 3, 2, 1, like I'm by myself. And then next thing you know, the whole neighborhood catches on. Now I'm playing and we competing, but I would be out there countless hours arm shooting, like working on my jumper. Like it wasn't like I didn't think I would be a great shooter. There's got to be some natural gifts that come with it, you know. But I did put a lot of hours by myself. I didn't have a trainer, and that's something that you see a lot in today's world. Right? Everybody has a trainer. Like, I didn't have that. You know, I had a dream, I had a goal, and I had vision. You know what I mean? And my dream was to make it to the NBA, and starting in that backyard was part of that vision. You know what I mean? Like, part of that imagination. Watching Jordan shoot his game winners against the Cavs and stuff like that. Like, I'm reacting to all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. AI crossover, I'm reacting to everything, you know? And my imagination is growing. That's where everything started, right there in the backyard.
Okay. All right. Let's jump to high school, right? Oxon Hill. I mean, we kind of talked about it in the intro. Just, I was a juggernaut. You know, he was all mad. You know, y'all won the championship, state championship. Is it 1 or 2 that y'all won?
We went to 3. And actually, yeah, we went to 3, and we won 1. Remember, we lost the first one in a 5 overtime game to Gaithersburg, and I think that record still to this day. And then the second one we lost at the buzzer.
Yep.
I think to Lake Cliff. I don't remember these things like that, but we lost at the buzzer. And then that third year we actually won it. Again, maybe Need or something like that. Yeah. Or Lake Clifton. And then that following year, my senior year, we went undefeated the whole year. Yeah. Right? And we played Eleanor Roosevelt in the county championship, and we had beat them 3 straight times in the regular season. And that was the one time we lost. The only time we lost that year was elimination. You know, so that was a heartbreaking moment, but the work that went into preparing for these games and preparing for a season, Coach Lanier and Coach Barrett did a great job preparing us. Like, we was running 2 miles 3 times a week. Whoa. So, like, you got to understand the preparation. Like, we were like an army. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Like, I don't think no team in the county on the state period worked harder than us at that time. I think everybody's playing catch up with us. And the work and the record shows. I think we only lost 7, 8 games in 4 years. Wow. So, you know, we were ranked in the nation. We were ranked in the area #1 for multiple weeks, multiple months. And the crazy thing is, you mentioned that we're a successful Oxon Hill team. I just went to Oxon Hill a couple of weeks ago to a Largo game, and they didn't even have the banners. Oh, right. Like, and it's like Mike Sweeney's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame. Rebecca Brunson, you know, she's inducted to the Hall of Fame at Georgetown. Her and Michael together, both of them had successful NBA careers, and their jerseys not retired. And we talking about culture. So it hurts me when I retire from a 15-year career and come home to, you know, reminisce and see the talent level ain't there and the banners ain't there. So Oxon Hill, I'm here, you know, to help reconnect some of these traditions. When you talk about culture and community, I think it's important for us to, you know, honor the past of Oxon Hill and showcase some of the talent that's come walk those halls and create community. Just create community. And I think I can help you all rebuild something that we helped put together.
That's awesome. Now, let me get into this real quick. So usually they always talk about in private school and public school, right? Private school, you know, they play a bit more structured, right? And a lot of times you have to sacrifice. So like when we played at Gonzaga, both of us I felt like we probably could have averaged more, right? But we didn't, and we won, right? And so like in your scenario, you had to play with other good players, right? So you felt like you had to I'm sure you felt like you had to sacrifice. Talk about learning how to play with better players at a younger age.
The focus should be on winning. Yeah. I mean, if your focus is on how many points you score, you're already going in the wrong direction. That's the selfish mentality. We all have it at some point, but the earlier you kind of check that ego, the better. You know what I mean? It's nothing but the ego pushing you to say, I want to score 20. But when you on a team that has talent, I think the important thing is finding that chemistry. You know what I mean? And building the trust within your team. You know what I mean? Mike Sweetney, Lamar Butler, Justin Reeves, Richard Little, like we all went D1. Mike Sweetney obviously went to the league. Lamar Butler went to the Final Four with George Mason. And then played overseas a little bit. We were all super competitive for sure, and we wanted to outdo each other. And I think that's what kind of propelled us and kept us on our heels. I know I was for sure, trying to outdo Lamar. I'm pretty sure he wanted to outdo me, but and that probably was the reason why we didn't win the championship our senior year for real, because we was going back and forth. Or I was in my head, you know what I mean? But yeah, like just understanding the personalities that you're dealing with, understanding what's needed from the team. That's the main focus of any player that's on any team, is just like trying to find out what the team actually needs from you. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a timely bucket, whether it's a stop, whether it's, penetrating the lane, kicking out, for getting somebody else a shot. Like those are the qualities that you need to have when you're playing with other talented people. That nobody wants. I'm telling you, I've been in situations when I was the sole focal point of scoring. That's not easy, bro. You need help out here. When I turned pro, and after those first 5-6 years of me leading leagues and scoring and being successful and not getting that big contract, I made it all about the team, man. Like I'm not about to sit there. It's difficult to lead the league and scoring the whole year, and then have a solid, healthy body at the end of the season. Yeah. But to put all that pressure on yourself is really unnecessary.
Definitely coming from Oxon Hill, the powerhouse. Now you go to Drexel. So first, what made you pick Drexel?
I was I went on a visit to George Mason. That was a funny one. Me and Lamar went together.
Okay.
And I don't think they had any intention on signing me, but they brought me along the ride. They had the Jersey Letterman jackets with our names on it. They had the big presentation, but I wanted to get in my own lane. You know what I mean? Me and Lamar played together 4 years, and it was time for a change for me anyway. Then I had James Madison, went on a visit there, had a heck of a time, and verbally committed on the spot. The very next week, I go to Drexel, and Sean Brooks, he's from the area, went to Central High School. He was a freshman at the time, and I go to Philly. Now I'm in the city. James Madison. That was in the boondocks. George Mason. That's too close to home for me. Yeah. Philly was like a perfect match, along with having my friend, that I knew from PG on the team already. And, being in that city life, that was more my speed. And then, interacting with the team, I just saw it as a great fit. I didn't think I would start. I didn't go in there with heavy expectations. I knew I was equipped with the mentality and the knowledge to make an impact for sure, because of what we went through in high school. Mm-hmm. So Coach Lanier, and Coach Barrett, they did a great job prepping us for what was to come in college. Now I get there with Bruiser Flint, he's cursing crazy, you know what I mean? Like, so, just being mentally strong, and that was one of the things that Coach Lanier made stress a lot, be mentally strong. Like, it's not easy to win these games. You're getting the best game of everybody you play against, So I took that whole mentality to Drexel and committed there. Decommitted to James Madison and everything. It was kind of hot, but I don't regret it. I think I made a great decision, and I'm still, to this day, supporting the guys that need guidance. Just throughout the season. Obviously, there's a lot of ups and downs. Just trying to be a support system for a lot of the guys, like, in general, whether you come from Drexel or wherever. Like, I'm always there for the guys to give them advice as they navigate their college careers and try to go overseas and go pro.
Okay, so I know you said it wasn't no expectations for yourself, but coming from that powerhouse and that just good basketball culture, did the coach have high expectations for yourself? And then what adjustments did you have to make once you got there from being from high school to college?
The main thing I had to do was learn how to lose.
Okay.
Hey, like just being real. Like just being real, dog. Like I had to learn how to lose again. You know what I mean? I remember, you know, we won our first game, you know, in the conference at Drexel. Everybody celebrating like we just won the championship. And I'm like, man, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? We ain't done nothing yet. Cause I like mentally, I'm like, we trying to win it all. Like this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? Like we can't get too ahead of ourselves here, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, that mentality, I think it kind of rubbed off on my teammates. I always was a leader, vocal, always spoke my mind. And I think Bruiser, his expectations weren't necessarily for me to start. I think he understood what type of guy, you know, I was as a player. Bruiser had just left UMass to come to Drexel. So this was his first year when I was arriving. So it was basically a new team. He, you know, got rid of a lot of the guys that were there previously. And, you know, I was one of the guys that stayed, you know.
Okay.
And ever since then, like, I just know I work people, bro. Like, I know I ain't the most talented, bro. I know I ain't the most athletic, ain't the best shooter, but I can compete with some. But I'm a worker, bro. Like I hustle. I come from 23rd. Like you gotta work to get up out there. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't. A lot of talented people don't. So I'm always like that, bro.
Okay. So now we go into the professional career, and one of the most important. We always know this. One of the most important things is selecting an agent. But from having our conversations, like with other athletes, like me personally, I didn't understand where if you and your agent really plot out your plan for your career, like you can really make a big difference. And that's something that when it was my time to go, I didn't really plan like that. Really didn't have no blueprint of anything. So just tell us how that process was.
When I stopped playing at Drexel, there was an exposure camp in Hoboken, New Jersey.
I remember that.
It was called, I forget, New Jersey. I forget who did it. But it was an exposure camp, you know? And I went out there, played well. And Justin Haynes is the agent that I went with.
My agent.
Yeah. So he got a lot of guys, man. Shout out to Justin. He was my first agent that I went with because he was the only agent that actually gave me an opportunity. Now, you know, Justin was a younger agent at the time. He didn't, you know, he's not the Justin Haynes that is today. But at the time, you know, we were both young. We were both, you know, trying to figure out what, you know, Europe was about. You know what I mean?
He's probably close to the same age as you too.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, he gave me an opportunity. And for me, when you come to me and say, hey, you know, it's not me coming to you, it's different, you know, when the tables have turned. So he came to me and said, hey, you know, I like you as a player. And my first gig was in Holland for 20,000 euro. You know what I mean? And for me, like I was super excited. I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about anything. I was more so like I cried when I was at the airport, not fear, because like, damn, I'm really accomplishing a goal that I set out from 23rd, being in that backyard.
That's right.
So now I'm going to fucking Holland.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've never been outside the country, you know. So this was the start of my journey, you know, and Holland was a great country for me because it was, you know, the people there were nice. You know, it's a clean country. They got McDonald's. They got fast food. They got a decent nightlife, you know. So I went there, you know, just open, you know, just open for new things. You know what I mean? I didn't go in there thinking, I'm American. Like a lot of guys I know did. You know, I was there like, yo, I want to see these, you know, monuments and these historical buildings and really buy into the culture. Yeah. And like that really helped me and gave me the confidence, you know, to pursue this, you know, because when I was in college, I was a 2.
Right.
my bruiser didn't allow me to take more than 2 dribbles. Seriously, like I
catch
couldn't
and shoot.
Right, catch and shoot, 2 dribbles, get off the ball if you ain't shooting. So I had to really change my game, not necessarily change my game, but when I went pro, like the chains were let off. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, I do know how to dribble. I know how to dribble. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to dribble. And, I always had handles or whatever, but, when you do something so well, coach wanted me to buy into what I did well and not focus on the things which was great. But then when I went pro, now I could play point. I could play 2 at a very high level. So now I'm killing them. That's how I was scoring so much because I know how to come on screens. I know how to do the things off the ball. You know what I mean? As a 2. So then you put the ball in my hands. As long as I know I can do this. As long as I get to my spots. But it was a learning experience reading these pick and rolls and all this other stuff. We'll get into that later. But it was definitely gave me the confidence. You know what I mean? Because I led the league in scoring, my first year. And I'm thinking, all right, shit, here go a $100,000 contract. But like I say, Justin Haynes, he was young and probably didn't have the big job connections at the moment. He does now for sure. So my second contract, I went to Turkey for like $10,000 more. Okay. And, now, same thing. I'm playing well, but now I'm not making that money. And, guys coming up to me during the game saying, hey, man, I heard you only making $30,000. I'm lying. You know what I'm saying? No, that ain't me. But, I never let it affect me, man. Because I knew, one, I'm better than you and I'm going to catch you eventually, So I gave myself enough time, to fulfill everything.
Okay. So did you stay with him the whole time throughout your career?
I think I stayed with Justin for a good 4 years, 3-4 years, and then went with another agent that was on my back. Like he was like, courting me, recruiting me crazy. You know what I mean? But he had bigger clients, bigger connections to bigger teams, so it was a business decision. Nothing personal, but a lot of guys, are afraid to make that business decision. Like you are your business. Like you can't allow your agent to determine your whole career. You got to put some work in too. Like you got to manage yourself. You got to really identify when somebody's not working in your best interest, and be okay with the decision that you make. And then once you make that decision to let your agent go, keep going. But I've seen so many times guys hold on to agents and then complain about the misfortunes that happens to them. Like don't complain about it. Make a change. Like if I'm not making the money I want, if I'm not in the leagues I'm trying to get to, and I don't see you are able to get me there after me giving you a chance, it's business at the end of the day. It's guaranteed you go overseas or get on these teams and you don't produce, your ass is gone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a business, like you said, 100%. And you spoke on it already, but just that your overall general experience of the overseas life, because we talk to certain people, they say, hey man, I loved it. I got to travel, learn different language, eat certain food, sightseeing. It was great. And then others, they didn't have as great of experience because they were lonely. It was like, if you had a family, you had kids, you missing them because they're not over there with you, and it just wasn't a great time. So for you, like in your whole journey, like how was your overall experience just being overseas?
I loved it. It was like I say, I went into every situation open-minded and really bought into their culture. Like I tried to learn the language. I tried to interact with my teammates that were from that country I was playing in. During the team meals, I'm not just sitting with the Americans. Because that's usually what happens. Like the table's divided. All the Europeans are here, all the Americans are here. I'm with the Europeans. You know what I mean? Letting them know, like, yo, we are a team. Yeah. And that kind of, led me to becoming a captain on some of these teams. You know what I mean? Like I was captain of Rome for 2 years, for a year and a half, and captain of Venice for 2 years, and then went to Palk in Greece and was a co-captain there. So my experience was, I wouldn't change it for the world. Obviously, I made some mistakes, but though that was all part of the journey. You know what I mean? Like that, my experience overseas has helped me so much. You know, not the money, not the, you know, just the experience of me, you know, meeting different cultures, understanding different personalities, being okay. You know, I always say my career has gotten me indoors as a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Forget the money. Like, does your career help open doors when you're done? And that's what overseas basketball is really for, is to give you a cushion financially, because you're not going to make, if you're an average guy, you're not going to make enough money to retire for the rest of your life, right? So you got to be able to lean on your career and what you've done to get you in certain doors and have conversation, you know? So I'm living proof of that.
Okay, nice. So I want to jump back into, we talked offline about how your initial years are like, you know, you're just building your resume overseas, right? And then you jump to Italy. Now, Italy, is that when you made your change agent-wise as well?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I made the change there, and Italy, man, I got 9 years out of Italy.
Yeah,
So I played 9 years there, and this is when I kind of realized, all right, now I'm in the big league. You know what I mean? So my focus was, I think I had a little bit of selfish mentality going into Italy because I was so hungry. But I remember one practice, and it kind of changed my whole mentality. Ron Slade, who was a close friend of mine, went to Tennessee, went to Oak Hill.
Like a foreman, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He we're in practice one day, and I'm on defense, and he hit me with a mean screen. Oof. Like mean joint. So you know me, I'm like, dog, what you doing? You know what I mean? Just bucking up at him, you know, little guy syndrome. And he turned to me and said, hey dog, it's my job. I would do the same thing for you. This is my job. Stop, told me stop bitching. You know what I'm saying? Like that's exactly what he told me. And I was like, dang, you're right. Yeah. So then it's like, you know, trying to be more professional, trying to be more, like I say, more of that leader that the team needs me to be. And I had like some great teammates, man, like Ron, Joby Thomas, Teemu Rannikos from Finland. They really showed me what it takes to be at this level, because I had never played where, you know, the TV games are in HD, and you know what I mean? Like it was Italy, a big league, you know what I mean? So it was definitely an adjustment, but you know, becoming the leader, becoming the, I guess the player that the team wants, that's where I learned how to do that. It was in Italy. Like Italy was that foundation for me, where they gave me, that was where I signed back to the same team. You know what I mean? Like usually going from city to city or country to country, like I came back to the same team multiple times there. So that's one of the important things of Europe, finding your niche, right? And the agent is supposed to help you with that. But I kind of saw guys that I like, who was there? Terrell McIntyre, Bo McCallum, Randolph Childress, you know, Daniel Hackett. It was so many guys that were in Italy that I saw like, hey, this is my level here. This is where I want to be. Along with the teams, you got Milan, you got Bologna, you got Treviso, Venezia. You got all these highly respected teams, so the exposure is a lot better, you know, when you play these teams. And my agent was, he definitely helped me get to that level. Once I got there, I started to understand the business. I started to understand salaries. I started to understand that different countries offer different salaries to different players. And then I just started educating myself. So then I wasn't waiting for my agent to tell me, hey, I want to send you to this. Nah, this is where I want to go. You know what I mean? This is the next step for me. All right, instead of going to Italy, How do I, make another 50 to 100,000 based off changing a different team within Italy? What teams have this certain budgets? Obviously the cup teams have a bigger budget because they planning traveling internationally. So how do I get there? And those were questions I was asking myself and not my agent. I didn't really give my agent too much power. Like I was always hands on with it.
He worked for you.
Right. I was always hands on with it. Mainly by the time I finished, I ain't even talked to my agent. You know what I'm saying?
Probably done it yourself.
Yeah, right. So I didn't even, it was nothing to talk about. I knew unless I wasn't getting paid, and that's a whole nother discussion, not being paid. And that's really one of the main things that kind of is not attractive for, guys coming from here where it's like you get paid, it's structure here. Over there is like you really got to bet on yourself because you may not get paid for a couple months, 3 months, but this is the opportunity that I have to play here in order for me to reach my real goal. If I want to increase my pay, if I want to scale and go to a bigger league, I have to be here. You know what I mean? But my money was never driving me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was never that. So I would stay on teams and not get paid sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But eventually get all my money because they see that loyalty. The GMs and stuff, they see your commitment. So it was sometimes I was getting paid, my teammates weren't getting paid. I ain't say nothing. I ain't say nothing. But that's how it is over there. If they feel like that you're all in and you're like one of them, they'll take care of you. Yeah. You just got to be open.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Italy definitely, from here you talking is like that's where like you grew up like I'm a professional.
I became a man.
Like
I became a man. Like I didn't.
And from here, like it would seem like like if you like a movie or something when it began, it was like when he said, "Hey man, this is my job."
Yeah.
But then the day it's like, I can't get mad at you. You doing your job, man.
I can't get mad at you because I know he's gonna do the same thing for me in the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, dog, I'm tripping. Like I'm out here. Like I used to be the guy. Like we lose a game, I'm just walking off the floor. You know what I mean? Because I'm pissed. Because like I say, I've always been accustomed to winning, and Oxon Hill never leaves me. Right. You know what I mean? That feeling. You know what I mean? Of winning. So, to like go through those battles and finally get on a team where it's like
it mattered again.
Right. Like I hated losing. You know what I mean? So I'll be that guy just walking on the floor and then Ron Slay again with, hey dog, that's weak. That's weak, bro. Like shake these people's hands, dog. Like what you doing? Like you a leader. Like he was going on me, but he was telling me what I needed to hit. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I try to be that same guy for other people. Like don't just tell me what I need to hear. You know what I mean? Like tell me the real. Yeah. And I think that's important for all athletes to have that guy in their corner, whether it's on the team, whether it's a friend, or whatever the case may be. Like, nah, dog, you tripping. Like pipe down a little bit, dog. Like you starting to go a little bit over your head. Like bring it back down.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your best year? Would you say Italy was like one of your best years, or what was your best years overseas?
I had a lot, bro. I would say my second to last year in Pout.
That's in Greece?
Greece, yeah.
Okay.
Like Italy, I had some great years, but I've never played as free as when I was in Pout.
You was older.
I was older.
You was at what, 35?
I was 35, but I was still high level. But that was like I really gave up trying to be that guy. I knew it wasn't about me no more. You know what I mean? I was 35. I focused in on, mentoring the younger guys. But I'm still Phil. I still could get a bucket, right. So I'm still starting. But I was literally taking what the defense gave me. I think I had mastered the game, like from a mental perspective. I knew every coverage. I knew every defensive scheme that they was going to throw at me before the game started. Yeah. I knew what areas of the floor that are open every single time down the floor. I knew if a big is in the drop, where my shots were coming from. I knew if a big showed on the pick and roll, where to exit, how to get rid of the ball. I knew everything. I knew every detail, bro. And I shot the best. Had my best shooting percentage from 3 and from 2. And we ended up winning 3rd place, which is great because you got Olympiacos and Panathinaikos at 1 and 2. So we ended up winning 3rd place, which is a big deal in Greece. But just that whole feeling, man, I felt like I really could not be stopped. You know what I mean?
It's
like
a great feeling.
Like, but I'm 35 years old. You know what I mean? Like, dang, I wish I would have dropped the ego a little bit earlier. You know what I mean? And studied and focused in on what the team needs me to do. You know what I mean? And I always say the earlier the athlete can kind of pick up those traits and those qualities, like the better, because I didn't play with no stress. I didn't care if I scored 20 or scored 0. I really did not care. So that level of freedom and like, yeah, I was just happier. I was in a better mood every game. Like, it was literally a perfect season for me. And then at 35, I'm thinking I'm out the door. They gave me another contract for 6 figures.
Wow.
At 36. You know what I mean? And I could have stayed another year. You know what I mean? So it's like I resurrected my career when people thought I was kind of out the door. Because when I think my 2nd year in Venice, when I was captain, I got hurt right before the playoffs. And, you know, this was my contract year. And I'm trying to re-up and, you know, continue playing somewhere else. I was playing that Euro Cup, which is right underneath the Euro League. But I got hurt. And then the team never put me back in. You know what I mean? Like, playoff time, and I'm captain of the team, bro. Like, how you know, and they replaced me with Jeremy Pargo.
Okay.
Like I said, I just never seen the floor again, and it hurts to this day, you know, because I know I owed it to the fans to get back out there on the floor. You know what I mean? And it was out of my control. And that following season, after not playing in the playoffs and us losing in the 2nd round, I didn't get a job until November, December, like almost January. And you could think how that messed up my mental, because here I am, like, I've been captain, like multiple teams, captain of Rome. I just came from captain of Venice. Made it to the finals in Italy. Like, I got a resume. And then to feel like no team wants me because they think I'm hurt, that kind of crushed me. So, Brendan C gave me an opportunity after that year. And that was like, I could say was one of the most talented teams I've been on, but just couldn't get right. You know, everybody was on their individual journey. You know what I mean? And I totally understood that. So, you know, I'm trying to help the team any way I can. So I was coming off the bench. You know what I mean? Like, I'm coming off the bench to guys that I know I'm better than. You know, at 34. You know what I mean? So, like, that's just facts. But it didn't bother me because I know the most important times of the game, I know I'm gonna be on the floor. You know what I mean? That's what mattered to me. Like, I had a coach when I was in Italy that say, Phil, let the game come to you. Like, we need you to score. Like, you don't have to force anything. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuck with me during that time, where it's like, all right, just calm down, let the game come to me, you know, readjust. You know, I had to come out super aggressive. And that kind of sparked that next year where it's like ego forfeited. Like, let's just do whatever the team needs me to do, but still be Phil Goss at the same time.
Yeah, so it just dawned on me. So when you said that one of your best seasons is you was older, you was in your 30s. So now you already did about 10 years plus. So what routines and things that you set in place during that time to be able to withstand and sustain that high level to get to the point now when you in your 30s, I'm playing my best basketball at this time. Like, what was the diet like? What was like the training like?
Like, when I got like 32, 30, like in my 30s, in the summertime, like usually I'm 2nd round of playoffs or the finals. So, you know, them summers are super short. You know, you coming home almost July and got to leave August. So I didn't touch a basketball. Like, I know the game. Like I don't need to practice that anymore. Like I'm taking care of my body.
Okay.
Like I'm lifting every single day, you know, with my trainer. And we did like resistance training. It wasn't like this heavy lifting.
Like
it was like
band work.
endurance, where he like, I'll do 10 reps on like a incline or whatever, or leg press. And for reps 10 through 15, he's pushing on that joint. You know what I mean? Adding that extra resistance. And he's telling me, hey, go slow down. You know what I mean? So after my muscle was already tired after doing 10 reps, now I got him pushing on that joint.
It's like what, eccentric?
Yeah, it's called resistance.
Okay.
But that type of training allowed me to endure some of the, you know, pain, and, you know, I didn't have any real injuries like that, you know, that kept me out for multiple months. So Kevin Masilka, thank you. You know what I mean? Like that was like my main thing. I always had a high metabolism, so I could eat crazy and not really gain weight, you know. So that's still to this day. So it's really, I didn't really necessarily watch what I ate that much, because I knew I was, you know, sweating a lot and burning a lot of calories. So I had to put the fuel back in the tank. Yeah. But I made sure, you know, I tried to sleep, you know, hydrate myself, stay focused, you know, before the games, not, you know, not get sidetracked, which is hard sometimes when you to stop. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's jump into TBT.
Oh man.
Like, now you playing, it's almost like a all-star team for this area, right? Like, how, first and foremost, how was that? I feel like on them teams, everybody got an ego. Yeah. Right? Like, how did y'all come together to, like, you know, I think y'all had a pretty successful run, even though y'all didn't win it. How was that?
Oh, yeah, I always want to know how was that. 'Cause I remember when I first saw that on TV, I was like, what? Right. Like, everybody out here.
We were the #1 seeded team because we had the most NBA experience. Yeah. You know, DJ, Pops, Mike, you know, David Hawkins, all those guys. For me, I was just happy to be there. And I felt like that was like, because I always, you know, not second guess myself, but, you know, when I'm compared to the guys that played above me, it's like, you know, I don't really think that's a different level. You know what I mean? Yeah. So for me to be on the floor with those guys tells me I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? So Joe Conley put the team together. He called me. He's like, hey, Phil, I want you to, you know, lead this team. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to be the point guard. And like from day one, you know, the practices were difficult. Like we were pushing each other, but for me, it was just like playing at run and shoot.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? With my guys, you know, guys that I looked up to, you know, from even Chris Wright, you know, he was on the team, you know, his successful career at St. John's and at Georgetown, like just playing with him and let him see how I play. Because, you know, I'm a couple years older than him. He probably didn't see me in Oxon Hill. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was like you know, we were combining, you know, multiple years, you know, decades of PG basketball under one team. It was super dope, man. And I wish we would have won it because Monumental Sports was, you know, following us around, like doing like a day in the life. You know what I mean? Like the whole time. So if we'd have won that, that would have aired. You know what I mean? Like, so we definitely missed an opportunity, but we lost to a team that won it 5 times. You know what I mean? Overseas elite. You know, and tip my hats off to them. We were just a little bit too old. You know, guys, Mike got hurt, Dave got hurt, I got hurt. You know, that kind of shut down our championship hopes. Like I got hurt the second year when we win this game, we go to the finals. But every time we lost to overseas elite to go to the finals. So whoever won that game was going to win it. You know what I mean? But overseas elite, they're a little younger than us. You know, guys, a little bit more hungrier. You know, so you know they did their thing. So shout out to them.
Well, quick question on that. Based on y'all playing, did you think that teams, like, were you able to establish more jobs overseas from playing on? You know how some people have the NBA tag. Did the TV tag help?
Nah,
No.
we was already solidified.
Okay.
Like, it was telling us, hey, be cool, because most of us had contracts already to go back overseas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I told them, I was like, look, I'm gonna be in the gym anyway. Might as well be organized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, I had a couple of teams. Well, my team, I think at the time was Venice. Like, be careful out there, you know. But like I say, man, it was a hell of an experience. The TBT has been, you know, growing ever since. I wish they, you know, it was for the universities that, you know, I think that was part of the reason why, you know, they ain't want us to win that joke. I think the rest was, they was on something, dog. Like, we wasn't getting no calls, bro. But it is what it is.
We always ask this question. All right. So picture game tied. We'll be down 1. 12 seconds left. We need a bucket. What's your go-to?
So I had a go-to bucket for certain situations. Like, if I'm coming off a pick and roll, you know, obviously I told the coach, I was like, look, I want to come down on the right side of the floor every single time. So that means I'm using my left hand to come off pick and rolls.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to get to my left hand for a pull-up. Now that is within the system. You know what I mean? That's like with 12 seconds left. And now I got the ball after we set the play up, and now I got the ball with 12 seconds left. Now it's about IQ and realizing, all right, what type of defense are they playing me? Are they downing it? Are they forcing me to my weak hand? Are they showing? Once I identify that, I'm getting to my left hand. So the pull up or making a dish. Now, if it's a low shot clock situation and now I got the ball with 6 seconds left, all I need is 2 dribbles. 2 dribbles.
I'm from your
And
man
a step back.
Drexel.
And a step back. Like, my step back is probably top 5 out here. You know, like, for real. I scored a lot of buckets with the step back. So I had multiple go-to moves. That's the part of being a Cookaman. You know what I mean? Like, multiple go-to moves. Like, it wasn't just one. You know, I could one dribble pull up you, and you could hang all in the face. I don't see that. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to sound arrogant or cocky, but like, I hit those shots. And I really feel like I missed it, and it wasn't because of your great defense.
Yeah.
But to have that type of approach where it's like you identify certain scenarios that happen in the game, and you know exactly what to do with it, you can't be stopped.
So let's transition into, finding your purpose after hoops, right? I think everybody kind of has a tough. Well, I know I did.
I did too.
You
know, like, talk about, that transition and how you adjusted, to not playing anymore.
One, you got to let go of the past, bro. Like, you can't sit around and think about what you've done or what you've accomplished. Like, let that go. It's over. You know, once you make that commitment to say, all right, I'm done, I'm retired, you got to change that mindset. But for me, I started working for my life after basketball while I was still playing, making the most money I've ever made in my life. I was interning. Every coach that I had wanted me to, you're going to be a great coach, woo, woo. So, I fell for that, and I was, and I think I couldn't coach, and I'm still coaching to this day. It's just not on a team.
Yeah.
But, I'm interning, I'm, summer league coaching, with the Wizards, Tommy Shepard, was basically telling me, hey, you got a home here, So that happened for like 3 straight summers. I'm coming home, I'm working out with the Wizards. I'm basically a player with the Wizards, but I'm coaching during the summer league every summer, I'll do my weight work, and then I will go to the gym with the Wizards and just intern, do whatever they needed me to do. That turned into me being a part of the summer league staff, 3 summers. And then when I retired, after that year in Pout, they were saying, Tommy, like, look, you have a home here. We would love to have you. You're good. And once I heard that, I was like, you know what? I didn't know COVID was going to happen, but I said, all right, I'm done. I'm shifting my focus to coaching. And luckily, COVID happens that following year, basketball season, and guys, the whole season is shut down. But, I was able to coach with the Capital City Go-Go in the G League with Wizards affiliate. And the experience was great. I felt like I was, getting into my rhythm. Obviously, I didn't get that rush that I got as a player. I just tried to focus on helping these younger guys because I think they value my opinion, because they see themselves in me. Not the big, strong guy, not athletic. And a lot of those guys in the G League are like me. They're not the most athletic guys. So I was, like I say, getting into my rhythm, and COVID happens. And we don't have a team in the bubble. And they didn't even tell me I wasn't coming back. You know what I mean? So I had deals to go back to Italy to finish my career, back in Rome, back in Varese, for 6 figures, just to finish my career where I built my career. And I turned that down to coach. I didn't get to finish my first year coaching. And for me, I said, you know what? I'll be damned if I work my ass off the way I did in my career as a player, and then have to do that same effort as a coach, if not more. And I didn't see the reward that I was looking for. I didn't see how this story would end. There was no
lot of stuff
security.
Out of your control.
Yeah, it wasn't no real security. And I'm the type of guy that I got to see the end vision. I got to see it. You know what I'm saying? I got to visualize that. I got to see that in my head. How does this story end? You know what I mean? So I can get to work. I didn't see myself as a head coach. Like, I'm like more of a mentor, like uncle. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm gonna tell you what I need to tell you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get my point across. So I wish I could have finished my first year, because I let go of something that I, took years to accomplish overseas. I let go of that to pursue that, and now I'm not even doing it. So that kind of pisses me off. But I can't change the past. And it's like always continuing to look forward and focus on whatever, you're trying to accomplish out here. Coaching was a great opportunity for me. And again, it's something that I can add to the resume. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So now when I had these discussions with some business folks, now I'm not just a basketball player. I was a G League coach as well. So I'm adding that to the resume, and it's all for better optics and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
So tell me, what's your thoughts about how the NIL and just how social media just plays in our game now?
Man, NIL is great, right? But I believe that all they did was make the things that were illegal legal. Right? It's not the teams that's paying these players. It's not the universities that's paying these players. It's the boosters. What was the difference in what was happening before? Guys are making decisions based off of financial reward versus, trying to find the right situation. That's why you see the portal all over the place. And we talked about it before we got these cameras on. Like, that's not the purpose. Like, all right, there are situations where it's not a good fit, and that's great. Use the portal for that. But when you're putting yourself in the portal because you're running from that work, because you're not getting your way, because you're not making the money, like, there's more people not having an NIL deal than there is people that will. So one, let's get that fact out there. Just because you go to college don't mean you're going to get an NIL. Like, that's just not the way it goes, man. So it's like, if you want to, but there is room for that. I think that athletes need to really take more control of NIL and don't look at the universities and the boosters to put money in your pocket through NIL. I think the athletes can, do a lot of the work themselves, by reaching out to businesses and getting on LinkedIn, and getting those connections up, because the businesses want their product promoted,
right?
But they not necessarily gonna come to your doorstep. So you got to be the athletes got to be the one that's active, proactive. You know what I mean?
Will you say with those guys that they're like, man, but all I could do is focus on sports. You know what I mean? I don't have the time to do that. Because that's what I hear. Not saying that it can't be accomplished, but like
those are all excuses, because you know how long practice is.
Yep.
Practice 2.5 hours max. May got 2 days for an hour and a half. What are you doing with the rest of your time? Like, it's all about priority. Like, what is your priority? Are you trying to really dive into this NIL game? All right, then do your research. Nothing's going to fall in your lap. And I think a lot of the kids today, athletes, younger generation today, they looking for the easy way. That's why, like I say, the portal is all over the place. Guys are going to that portal and they staying in there. And they ain't saying nothing about that part.
Right.
They're not saying nothing about the guys that go in the portal and never make it out,
yep.
and lose scholarship opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you working so hard to get to college, and then you get there, and then now you're making the decision to leave based off your selfish mentality. How are you going to handle that when you're 30? When you look back and say, "Damn, I wish I would have not did that. I wish I would have," you know what I mean? You never want to have that feeling of regret, so it's like having that clear goals and a understanding of the landscape that you're in.
Right.
Like, there is an NIL, there is a portal. Like, use it for your benefit, not to cheat or get an easy way out, That's my take on it, man.
A lot of people want that elevator instead of the stairs, man.
I mean, there is no shortcut to success.
Yeah.
Like, and if you do, there's the universe has a way of putting that speed bump in your journey. So you're either your ego will be strict, or you can let it go. Yeah. How are you going? That's how it is in sports. Your ego will. Look at Klay Thompson. Like, he just said, he had a conversation with Steve Kerr about his performance. He's been down a little bit, and Klay went on an interview, said, "Hey, I had a long conversation with Klay. With Coach Kerr, and he told me, like, you've done great. Like, you're putting so much pressure on yourself. Like, let the game flow. Like, you're losing the purity of the game because you're out here trying to do things that not like, you're a shooter."
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, he scored 60-some points with 11 dribbles. Mm-hmm. Now he's out here trying to keep up with the trends, and now he's out here looking less than what he should be, and maybe not even get this extension. Mm-hmm. So buy in, you know what I'm saying? Like, buy all the way in. Don't allow your ego to get in the way of your progress. Mm-hmm. And the game will either strip it from you, or you can forfeit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, you're right about that. And then with that NIL, like, if kids saying that, hey, I don't have time, but then it's like, all right, that's when you need to be strategic, man. Build a team.
Man,
have these people out here, have these people out here that's going, hey, man, look, I need you to reach out to these people. This how we want to do, how we want to attack it. You know what I'm saying? Be strategic. You know what I'm saying? Because in the day, you a brand now. So you need to attack it the same way.
This is what I think. NIL, like, it's a business. It's a name, image, and likeness. How is it that athletes want to get into NIL but don't own their domain name? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the main thing. Like, you're supposed to own philgoss.com. You know what I'm saying? So now you have a channel where, even though your followers may not be able to reach you, that website is always, it's for the world. Mm-hmm. Build your presence. Build your presence. Own your name before you become successful, or like a Bronny or something like that. And now somebody owns your domain name, and now you gotta buy that back for.
That's like your masters, right?
You gotta buy that back for the bag. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The first thing, own your domain name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Build your website, build your online presence, and reach out. Reach out to these NIL platforms, the influencer, the open doors. You know what I mean? It's so many platforms that's out here that to help athletes get a clear understanding and education of the landscape. But you can't just go into the situation blind and say, hey, I want an NIL deal, and then go to college and with your hand out. Like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, nah. And I don't even see how college coaches deal with this. like, and that's one of another reason why I kind of like stayed away. You know, I love the game of basketball and I love to help others, but the mentality of these kids coming in is way off from where I was. And I don't understand that mentality. And I know I will snap. You know what I mean? And I will probably lose sleep, you know, because that's how passionate I am about the game of basketball. So athletes, get you a big brother, get you a uncle, get you a, you know, somebody that you could trust, you know what I mean? That's in your corner, that's been there, been through it, that understands the landscape in which we're in right now.
Understood. So who do you watch now? Like NBA wise, you watch anybody? You like watching the game? I know it's changed a lot.
I like them young guys.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, KD, you know, that's home team. Like, I want to see him win another one. But I like these young guys. SGA, Shea, Ja. Hopefully he could get his act together so we can see him on the floor. It's a lot of guys, the younger guys, man, that's coming up that have no fear. You know what I mean?
None.
Like they just out here. They Anthony Edwards, you know, Halliburton. Like these guys have no fear, and like they going at the stars. They going at them because they feel like it's their time. It's what the NBA needs. You know, they need somebody to, you know, get that fire underneath these older guys.
Man, I like that because I feel like it gets to the point where you glorifying people on the court. It's like I mean, I get it. You know, LeBron is great, but I think sometimes they going up against LeBron like, oh, I'm playing against Bron.
I'm
it's like, man, nah, man, we in a battle right now. We battling right now. Like I know I watched you play coming up, but man, we in war right now. So the mentality.
So you see guys like Draymond Green and Pat Beverly, and you know they getting up in these guys' shirt, like they look crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That was normal.
But that's the way you play basketball. You gotta find that competitive edge. You gotta compete. You gotta take things personal. And I don't think guys, you know, they don't take things personal like they used to. Like you think
too buddy.
There's too much money involved, and which is great. Like, and it's only going to continue to go up. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, like I love to see the league. Like the changing of the tides, man. Like you got KD, Bron, you know, those elite guys. Then you got your Giannis's, your Jason Tatum, Jaylen Browns, then you Jokers. Then you got your younger guys, Anthony Edwards, your Josh, your Zion too. Like hopefully he can get himself together, stop, you know, drop a couple pounds and become the great athlete that we, you know, want him to be. But these guys have no fear, man, and I think that's the main point of this whole thing is like, you know, when you get to that level, whether it's college, pros or whatever, you gotta have that confidence in yourself. But you gotta do it with humility. You know what I mean? You can't go in there, oh, I'm better than you, da, da, da. Like some of these guys are doing, you know, antagonizing Bron, you know, the Dylan Brooks and stuff like that. Like you gotta have that, you gotta have respect too.
Yeah.
You gotta have respect too. Hey, Bron, I appreciate you, but I'm still going at you today. You know what I'm saying? And then that's how you get the respect of the old heads too. Like you gotta show them some love, but they know I'm going at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So man, we got a game we play, man.
Oh, okay.
It's called, and we just gonna call it either or, right?
Yeah.
We call it either or. So you pick either or answer, or you can say both. You know, I think later on when we do like a get together, we probably will come up with the consequences for saying both.
Okay.
You know.
Drink champs, they be taking shots.
Yeah.
There you go.
We ain't taking no shots.
No.
All right. Mid-range or 3-ball?
Mid-range.
Okay. Bill Lanier or James Flint?
Bill Lanier.
Okay. Oxon Hill or Drexel?
Oxon Hill.
Okay. Sherrod Ford or Sean Brooks?
Ooh. Hey, I gotta go with Sean. Man.
Okay. All right. Mike Sweeney or Lonnie Baxter?
Mike.
Okay. All right, you with the home team.
I thought you was gonna say Kevin Live.
I should have said that one. Mike Sweeney or Kevin Live?
I gotta go either, man. It's my boys.
Okay.
My boys, man.
All right, Big Live. Yeah, I be running the Big Live on the.
I saw him the other day, yesterday.
On the AAU teams. Skill set or confidence?
Skill set.
Okay. Self-awareness or discipline?
Discipline.
Okay. Ambition or passion?
Passion.
Okay. Italy or Greece?
Oh man, both. Either, man.
All right. I think as a God that can do both, you'll appreciate this one. Lou Will or Jamal Crawford?
Oh. Jamal.
Okay. All right. Dane or Gil Arenas?
I'm gonna go Gil.
Okay.
Because I actually was there at some of those Cleveland matches, you know, the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would come home, it would be right around maybe Christmas break or something. I don't know. I would always be there for those games. Like Gil was a beast, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I actually worked out with him one time. He probably don't remember it, but you know, that's where I realized that there are levels. Like this is the fastest dude I've ever guarded in my life, and can stop on the dime. And like he did something, caught the ball, dribble right, and then snatched it back behind the back. And instead of shooting like regular, he shot that joint off the glass. like it was like that type of detail. Like normally you would just shoot it regular, but like he went off the glass on me and made that joint. I was like, it was different. Different.
He was definitely a technician. You like when I listened to you, like you definitely were real technical on everything.
Yeah,
too,
I had to be
you know?
because I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, so I had to. I'm angles.
Yeah.
Like I know that if the big comes out this far, I'm gonna drag his ass all the way out, and if they say switch, they out.
Mm-hmm.
If they stay with me, I know I got the pocket pass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If they down it, I come it off with the right hand, and he's in the drop, I'm pulling up.
Mm-hmm.
But my work is done before that screen comes. Mm-hmm. So now when I'm running this guard right into the screen, I'm shooting wide open.
Yeah.
Like I got to do my work first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I know this one though. Kobe or Bron?
Kobe.
Okay. MJ or Bron?
Mike.
Yeah, figured that. I figured that. Last one. Respect or loyalty?
Loyalty.
Okay.
Loyalty kind of comes with the respect.
Yeah. I agree. All right, man. That was cool.
So definitely at the end, we always just do this general question. You gave a lot of advice and a lot of gems, you know. But to close it, what advice you want to give to the youth and parents, like especially for the youth that want to get into this game and make this game a career? Like, what advice would you give them?
For the youth, man, run your own race. Like, run your own race. Like, don't focus too much on what everybody else is doing. They're on their own journey. Really lock in on what you're trying to do. You know, set realistic goals. Don't, you know, obviously, me saying I wanted to be an NBA player was shooting for the stars. You know what I mean? But it was still a realistic goal of mine. You know, I knew I had the skill set, and I knew if I put work in, it would be possible. So it was really, you know, identifying what your true goal is, and like just run your own race. Don't look at other people's success and compare their journey to what you're doing. Live in your moment, and work. Like nothing is going to come easy at all. Like there's been plenty of times where I thought I wanted to give up, but because my mentality and energy was aligned, the universe, threw me a bone, and that's what they call luck. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for the parents is don't fall victim to the trainer. Like just because you pay for a trainer doesn't mean your son or daughter is going to be great. I think we're losing a lot of the purity and fun in the game by having all these trainers. There is a benefit that comes with competing for fun. You know what I mean? Just unedited, just straight natural competition. And it's good to have your trainer to work on certain skill sets, but I think you have to find out what your child is good at first. You can't teach them a whole bunch of things all at once, in a private setting and expect him to learn all these things without no real experience. You know what I'm saying? Like the best way to learn is through trial and error, going out there playing. And it's the coach's job to identify these rooms of improvement and problems that the kid has. But the parents have to be, they got to let their child grow and learn on their own. They can't be too much involved in the process. I'm saying that a lot. It's good that the mom knows about the coaching or the dad wants to relive the journey through the kid, but you got to let the child grow. It's the sooner the kid matures on that level, where you don't necessarily need mommy or daddy, to support, is the better. You know what I mean? Like, I remember plenty of times of me just going to run and shoot by myself. Like, but then somebody else has the same mentality as me. He's Bobby Mays. That's, Calvin Cage. You know what I mean? Like all the guys that I was playing against had the same mentality, but it took me to make that initial commitment. It didn't come from mom. It didn't come from my trainer. It didn't come from anybody else. It came from me. So the parents have to do a better job just, holding their children accountable, throughout their journey, especially in sports. And if they do that, they're putting their children in a better position to, mature in this game.
I got one last question. My bad. We forgot to ask you this. But what attracted you to the business world, right? When you made your switch, like what about the business world made it evident for you?
For me, it was, I like a challenge, man. Right? The challenge, it was obviously a challenge of trying to be a professional basketball player. But for me, it's more small businesses than there are athletes. So this is a challenge that, I'm up for, that I would say I, by default, got into this because I wanted to get off the hamster wheel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm working my ass off every day, and I didn't really feel or see that, like I say, that end goal. So, or that end reward. So, I look at entrepreneurship, ownership, owning your time, and working towards something that is not going to benefit nobody else. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you build a platform to help serve others, but it comes from me. You know what I mean? This is an idea. You know what I mean? Like having that vision, having imagination, and having the courage to jump out there. A lot of times we have these great ideas in our head and we ignore the blessings from above. I think a lot of the ideas are great ideas, but we don't know how to execute them. And we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot by not taking that leap of faith. When I took my leap of faith of starting our company, which is G360, I didn't know how to develop an app. I didn't know what a business plan was. I didn't know how to do a pitch deck. But when you have that goal, it's like you have to, I guess, reinvent yourself, you know, and rebrand yourself. So now I'm struggling to, you know, convince others that, no, I'm not a basketball player no more. You know what I mean? Like, take me serious. You know what I mean? Because if I have an ounce of success in this the way I did as a basketball player, that the end reward is going to be way much more fulfilling,
Right.
way more lucrative.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's been a heck of a journey so far with you know, building my team,
Right.
and I think that's the first step. When you have these ideas, I see y'all have a team here. It's like, who can I bring on this journey with me? And I think that's the first sign of you having a great idea.
Yeah.
You know, if you could can you convince other people to, you know, come along this journey with you? And then once you do that, it's like, what's the next step? Business plan,
Mm-hmm.
right? How we organize this? You know, what is the pitch deck? You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then, like I say, I didn't know how to form a pitch deck. I haven't been in school in over 15 years, 20 years, you know what I mean? So just really being a sponge to learning new things has been it's definitely difficult,
Right.
but it's not something that we can't accomplish if we put our mind to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the main thing. Like, bet on yourself. The same way you betted on yourself trying to be a pro basketball player, you was reaching for the stars. Like,
Yes, you are.
like, but you still landed all right, you know? But I knew that I had to put work in. So it's the same mentality that I'm taking into the business world with G360. I plan on, you know, empowering a lot of athletes with this platform, giving them an opportunity to monetize off the content in a new way. Because right now, where athletes are currently on an old business model, whereas like you're posting content on platforms for volume instead of, you know, monetization. Platforms like YouTube and Instagram, they may pay you a couple dollars based on how long somebody watches your video or your short reel or whatever. It's based on that. I'm hearing on YouTube that you're only, for 100,000 views, you're making $18. Now, I'm pretty sure athletes, you know, we have the following, we have the culture, we shift culture, and our platform is going to empower the athletes to monetize direct to their fan base, you know, instead of trying to monetize from a platform. It's a totally different way, and athletes have it's a monetization game being played, and we're not even in the arena yet. You know, you look at guys on Twitch, Tyson X, and the iShow Speeds of the world that are, you know, making bank, reaching financial freedom, giving access, right? And right now we're in a different time where athletes can now get access to their fans. So we have to reprogram and retrain our way of thinking to put out content that's not just highlights. You know,
Right.
Open up and allow your fans, your core fan base, to see who you really are. That's the only way that you can actually reach financial freedom and monetization through any platform. But we all know Instagram, you got your whole life story on there for free. So how can you charge somebody now to watch your videos? YouTube, you know, the business model is totally different. You know, Twitch is not a platform for athletes. It's really for gamers. You know, I'm pretty sure an athlete can go on that platform and do exactly what I'm saying, but you're going to be lost in all these other categories that don't fit. So that's what G360 will come and play and be that go-to platform for athletes that are looking to engage with their community, build their fan base, and ultimately monetize the right way on a new business model. And I'm excited. The journey has been nothing but fulfilling for me. A lot of ups and downs, but I think with the work ethic that I've learned through my professional career, without that, I wouldn't be here today.
Mm.
You know, to know like, you know, it is not how you start, it's how you finish.
Mhm.
And that's the main thing I learned from sports. Like you could be having a great year, and if you don't finish the right way, you're not getting that contract.
Right.
You're not getting that pay increase. You know what I mean? So even though I think I got off to a rocky start, but that's good because I've gotten so many learning experiences. You know what I mean? How to pick a team, how to like still judging character. You know, being comfortable putting myself out there in this setting. You know, this is kind of new to me. You know, obviously we talked on basketball in my career, but this is totally new. You know, trying to talk about a business that I'm you know that I'm running now. You know, and it's great, and I appreciate you guys for bringing me on the platform. I will continue to support you guys. Anything you guys need from me, you know, I'm here to support, and I look forward to doing business with you.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's
Yeah,
a
for
fact,
sure.
man. But now, man, I hope y'all definitely tuned in. Phil brought a lot of advice, a lot of game, a lot of gems. Where can they reach you?
You can see me at Instagram, PGoss32, PGOSS32. You can check us out on LinkedIn as well, Phil Goss, Facebook, Phil Goss. As far as G360, you can go to www.playgg360.com and g360.app on Instagram.
All right, y'all, man. That's a wrap, man. Make sure y'all tune in next week for another episode.
Stay game related.
We got relations. You know it's